Hey, it's Free Ride Friday, so make sure you hang on to the end of the episode to see who won this week's free ride to the $100 MBA Training and Community. Every week, we give away a free lifetime membership to our community, the $100 MBA, which includes over 180 video lessons, workbooks, a community forum, interviews with experts, a whole lot more. You too can win a free ride. All you got to do is leave us an iTunes rating and review, and you enter our weekly draw to win a free ride to the $100 MBA. To learn more about that, just visit 100mba.net/show. Let's jump into today's episode. Heyo! Welcome to the $100 MBA Show, where the opportunity to learn is always knocking with our daily 10-minute business lessons for the real world. I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zinholm. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. And today you will learn how to be social on social media. Some of us don't really take full advantage of what social media is all about, interacting with your audience. It's great to be able to share the things that you offer, that you provide, be it free or paid. But you really should be using social media so you can create great relationships with those who are interested in what you do. And in today's episode, I'm going to show you some great ways to make sure you're social on social media. So let's jump right into it. Let's get down to business. The $100 MBA Show is sponsored by NADEX, Binary Options Trading. You guys are listeners to the $100 MBA Show, and you know how far $100 can go. And so does NADEX. With just $100, you can get started. With NADEX Binary Options, you trade on whether you think the market will be above or below a certain point by a certain time. Go to nadex.com and open up a free account. That's NADEX, NADEX.com. Futures, options, and swaps trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Now, you might be thinking, I may not have that many friends on Facebook or likes on my Facebook page or followers on Twitter. How do I conversate with my audience if I don't have anybody to talk to? Well, for starters, you should really start doing is inviting people to speak to you on social. So whatever your platform is, if it's YouTube, if you're blogging, if you're on a podcast, invite people to speak to you on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever platform you'd like them to speak to. We choose Twitter, so we ask people, you can send questions or you can tell us what they're doing on Twitter. I mentioned our handle, @BizRepublic. So invite people to speak to you on those platforms. So what you're doing here is you're using your existing platform, the people that already interact with you via your blog or maybe through your mailing list. Often what people do is once they're on their email list, they invite their subscriber to follow them on Facebook or on Twitter, and that way they can have just-in-time conversations with them. So invite your audience to speak to you on social. Another way to kind of grow your audience on Twitter or on Facebook is to engage with other people. Twitter is really good at this because you could search Twitter in the search box for keywords or questions, and you can go in and answer people's questions that are struggling in an area that you can help in. So I make it a regular habit to kind of search in Twitter and try to answer people's questions on Twitter that have to do with starting a business or business education, and I try to help them, strangers, people I've never met before. And usually what happens is if they appreciate the answer, they follow me on Twitter, and that grows my following, and they start interacting with me. They ask me more questions, and I can answer them, and everybody can benefit from those answers because, I'm tweeting them out from my profile. So seek out opportunities to help other people. Some people are going to be out there asking advice, and it could be something simple as, hey, I'm looking for a new wireless router. I'm hooking up internet to my new apartment. What do you guys recommend? You may have a great wireless router, or maybe you just did that. And you can say, hey, I just bought this router. It's great. You should check it out. Here's a link on Amazon to make it easier for them. People just appreciate people helping each other out. So try to seek out opportunities to help people on social. So I mentioned earlier to start the conversation on your platform. So for example, like Gary Vaynerchuk, he likes to do this at the end of his videos. He sends out a question at the end and say, tweet at me @GaryV with your answer. And the conversation starts there. But you can also start the conversation right inside of social media. So as a status update on Facebook, as a tweet, you can put a question out there for your audience. What is the one thing you're struggling right now in your business? If you're in the health industry, what is the one thing you hate about sticking to a diet? Or maybe a question like, how many of you don't like going to the gym versus exercising at home? Start getting social on social media itself. Send out some questions, put out there, some feelers, see what people think about a certain topic. You might be surprised with how many people will interact with you. And it could be something even, again, as simple as you change your banner on Twitter. I just recently changed my banner. Nicole put together a great, beautiful looking banner on Twitter. And I tweeted out, hey, what do you guys think of my new banner? And that could be something just as simple, just to get the ball rolling and get people conversating. Another thing that I like to do is I like to engage with people I just met in person on social media. So say, for example, I met somebody new at a conference and we had a great conversation about something. I'd like to continue that conversation on social media, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you choose. And it allows you to build upon that relationship. You're growing that relationship a bit more. You met in person, you had a conversation, now you're continuing the conversation on social. It's a great way for you to be social. And then also, people that check out your profile, they see that you're not just promoting things, you're also talking to people and interacting with your audience. Another method you can implement to be social on social media is something I like to call mini interviews. So say, for example, you have a question you want to ask somebody, or maybe somebody's an expert in an area. So for example, if I wanted to ask a question about how to get booked as a public speaker, I might reach out to Scott Stratton, who's a full-time public speaker. He gets paid top dollar for his public speeches. He's fantastic at it. So I might throw a tweet at him with a question, an interview-style question like, hey, Scott Stratton, what's the easiest way to put together a great reel for my speaking portfolio? Or do you have some great examples? And it's a way for me to reach out to an expert, and they will answer because that's their area of expertise, and you're asking a genuine question. And everybody in your audience will benefit from that answer. So do these mini interviews. It's great to reach out to other people to get them involved in the conversation, especially people that are experts in an area that you're not an expert in. Guys, I got more about being social on social media, but before that, I got to give some love to today's sponsor, Igloo. Have you ever heard of the word intranet? Yep, it's exactly what it sounds like, an internet for your business. It's an internal internet, and the easiest to use intranet out there is Igloo. It's a cloud platform that helps you do your best work, share files, do blog updates, coordinate calendars, and manage projects. It's super easy to use and easy to configure, even for the most non-technical of users. And it's built using a responsive design, which means you can use it on your tablet, on your phone. So anywhere you can go, you can access your intranet. Whether you're a large enterprise stuck using SharePoint or a fast-growing business overwhelmed with apps, creating an intranet that matches your brand's look and feel simplifies how you work, and it's accessible from your phone. Sign up now and try it for free at igloosoftware.com/MBA. That's Igloo, IGLOO, software.com/MBA. Another great way to be social on social media is to include your audience in whatever you're building in your business. So get the feedback of your audience about maybe an ebook that you're creating, or maybe it's software, or maybe it's a new program you're putting out together, or maybe it's a new physical product, or new model of the new t-shirt you're coming out with. Show them some images, show them some mock-ups, and ask for their feedback and their opinions. Get them involved, pull back the curtain a little bit, and show them how the sausage is made. You'll be surprised how much feedback you'll get. People like to get involved. And not only will they feel like their opinion matters, they'll feel a part of the process, and they'll feel more inclined to buy whatever you're about to launch since they had something to do with building it. So ask for feedback. Just a few reminders about being social on social media. Try to be as useful as possible. I'm very cautious of how I use my audience's time. So when I say that, I mean when people read my Facebook updates, Twitter updates, LinkedIn, whatever it is, I want to make sure I'm not wasting their time. And it's cool to be fun and show your personality sometimes and, show what you're doing or what you're having for lunch. But if it gets too much, if your whole stream is that way, people might get turned off and feel like, I don't really see what's in it for me. Make sure you're serving them through the content. You can make it fun, you can make it lively, you can make it funny, but as long as there is some sort of benefit for the reader. All right, guys, that wraps up today's lesson, but it is Free Ride Friday today. That means we're announcing this week's Free Ride Friday winner. And the winner is Keith Cook Jr. Keith Cook Jr. says, you will binge listen. 5 stars. Been consuming in large doses. Love the show and the topics. Thank you, Keith, for the awesome review, and welcome to the $100 MBA Training and Community. Your mission is to email us at contact@100mba.net so we can hook you up with the free ride to the $100 MBA Guys, again, everybody who gives us an iTunes rating and review enters our weekly draw. You enter the pot, and everybody who's given us a rating and review enters the draw. So if you got 2 minutes right now, you can give us an iTunes rating and review, and it could be you next week. To learn more, just visit 100mba.net/show. Guys, just a quick reminder, if you love the $100 MBA show, then we think you're going to really love our other new podcast called Webinar Ninja. It's a podcast all about how to teach, present, sell, and communicate effectively using webinars. It's a new style podcast, and we're really trying to clean up the world of webinars through this podcast and offer an alternative that not only makes you feel good again about yourself, but also that is effective. We have chats with great experts in this area like Michael Port and John Lee Dumas, and a whole lot more. So check it out. Just search Webinar Ninja on iTunes or Stitcher. We would love for you to subscribe. The $100 MBA still goes strong. We are going to continue to give you our daily